Thanks for coming to my channel and checking out this preview of the Palace game. I'm going to be looking up lineup. I'm going to be looking at formation, a few kind of key battles that I'm anticipating, and then also look at Palace's threats. So let's get into it. So in terms of lineup, I'm looking to see the same team that played against Brighton. I don't think they did themselves justice in that game. And so that could potentially be a worry. There didn't seem to be the chemistry that we saw, for example, in the Tottenham game. But I do believe this is the strongest Arsenal lineup at the moment. Lineup I'll be looking at will be Ramsdale in goal, with our set back four now, Tomiyasu at right back, having Benjamin White, Gabriel and Tierney as the back line. The two central midfielders I'll go for are going to be Sambi and Partey. Having on the right Saka, in the 10 position will be Odegaard, and on the left Smith Rowe with Aubameyang up front. In terms of formation, I went with a 4-2-3-1. I did think about a 4-3-3, but whenever Arsenal have played with that 4-3-3, it hasn't looked convincing to me. It's still a work in progress. I'm not sure about Partey as the 6 in a 3-man midfield. I feel it takes away from his ability to kind of drive and his ability to influence the game going forward. I don't see Partey as a deep line playmaker. Sambi can play there. I'd like him to have a little bit more practice at it first. I do believe that he's potentially a future 6 who can kind of hold that area by himself. But for now, I don't think it's practiced enough. It's not efficient enough. And this is a game that we have to win. So I'll go with a 4-2-3-1. Partly because I think Palace are a pressing team. And so I'm looking at them pushing 2 midfielders high to play against our 2 midfielders. Gallagher likes to get forward. And whoever is playing in there with Kouyaté, tends to like to go and press a little bit. Milivojevic will sit. I tend to think Milivojevic versus Odegaard is a mismatch. I think Odegaard can win that battle. And so having Odegaard in a much more advanced position than he would be in a 3-man midfield definitely bodes well for us, especially if we can break the lines and get the ball into his feet. So based on that mismatch, in terms of Odegaard versus Milivojevic, I'd like to see us play with the triangle with the point up and see if we can expose Milivojevic in that key kind of 10 area. Looking at key battles, there's 2 key battles, one being Odegaard versus Milivojevic. If Odegaard can get on the ball and kind of start dragging Milivojevic out of the way, it could open up areas for Aubameyang to come in and connect, or force their other midfielders, especially the likes of Gallagher, to drop back in and help with the defensive work. And I'm hoping that can help us kind of keep them in their half a little bit more than we have been doing in recent games, especially that Brighton game. The second real battle that I'm looking at and looking forward to is going to be the Edouard versus Gabriel battle. That is very interesting. I would say Gabriel will be able to take care of pretty much any centre forward in the league. That's how highly I rate him. And that's how well he's performing at the moment. So I think that's going to be an interesting battle. Edouard, not so much a physical threat like Benteke is, but his movement, he's very clever, and he tends to like to get his shots away nice and quick. So it means Gabriel in the transitions being strong, more powerful in the air, preventing Edouard from being able to get the ball and get turned. But then also in areas or times of the game, if we're in our half defending in our low block scenarios, it's about Gabriel making sure he knows where Edouard is, and that he's close to him at all times to stop those, those quick shots, to stop him from finding spaces and popping up in those areas in between defenders and in between lines. So that for me is going to be a key battle. I think Gabriel will win it, but let's see tomorrow. In terms of threats, Palace have a number of threats in their team. The two that I'm choosing to look at are Zaha. We all know Zaha's skill set. He likes to pick up the ball. He's very direct. He's very aggressive. He likes to run at his player. It's going to be a good test for Tommy. Tommy's been great recently. He didn't have such a great game against Brighton, but it's new conditions to him, and so I'm happy to let him off and excuse him for that. The thing about Zaha, not only is he tricky in terms of his body weight and how he moves the ball and how he's able to displace defenders to beat them, which I think Tommy will stand up to well because Tommy's a very good defender. Zaha is a very quick player, especially over the first few yards. And I don't think Tomiyasu has that first 5 yards of speed. He's a very quick player when it comes to getting to top speed. But the first 5 yards, I'm not sure about. So that will be an interesting battle. How does Zaha deal with Tommy if Tommy's physical? Because Zaha doesn't deal with physicality well, goes down a lot, complains a lot. I think Tommy will have Zaha in the air, absolutely. I think defensively, he'll be able to marshal him pretty well. It's just if Zaha is going to push the ball and look to run past Tommy, that's interesting. I'd like to see how Tommy does with that. I feel like he'll use his body pretty well, but let's see. The other threat is Gallagher. Gallagher is a live wire, bundles of energy, but is a very good player technically as well. Likes to get into the box late, likes to get on the end of things. And so our defensive midfielders are going to have a real job in making sure they track him. Party's done a really good job of it recently. He's doing a good job of either dropping into the space in front of the near post when the ball is in the wide areas especially, and dealing with any kind of near post crosses, and then being able to get out to the edge of the box and snuff some things out. He's done a great job at making a lot of clearances, especially headed clearances. And so I'm looking forward to seeing, first of all, who it is that's going to pick up Gallagher. Is it going to be Sambi? Is it going to be Partey? But then also I'm interested in seeing how that midfielder can impose their game on Gallagher and get Gallagher going backwards. I think they're pretty set in how they play, the 4-3-3. So tactically, I'm sure Arteta's watched the video, knows what to expect, and will have a plan for it. So looking forward to this game. Less than 24 hours to go. Hopefully we can get the 3 points, and that'll push us another step closer to Friday, where another 3 points takes us up into the top 4. So, it's an important game, as all games are, but this one I think can really set the tone for the next few games. So looking for a big performance, looking for a few goals, and hopefully 3 points. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please subscribe, click the thumbs up to like the video, and share. You can also get in touch, leave comments here. You can get in touch with me, comments on my social media, which is sensible_gunner on Twitter and on Instagram. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. And as always, come on, you Gunners.